The information provided on this podcast is intended for general informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. While we discuss topics related to vegan health, diet, and fitness, always consult with a qualified healthcare provider or a registered dietitian before making any changes to your diet, fitness routine, or lifestyle, especially if you have existing health conditions.
Welcome to Good Vegan Meal, the podcast for lifelong vegans, people wanting to become vegan, or those interested in vegan living. We're here to make your lives better by giving you the information you need to succeed in your compassionate vegan lifestyle.
Did you know the average American lives to about 78 years old? Which kind of means midlife starts at 39.
Wow, 39. That feels young for midlife, doesn't it?
It really does. Surprised. You're definitely not alone. If you've been waiting for a sign, maybe, to make your health a priority, consider this your definitive wake-up call.
Mm-hmm.
So today, we've taken a real deep dive into your stack of sources on plant-based nutrition. We're talking articles, cutting-edge research, expert insights.
All sorts of good stuff.
Exactly. And we've tried to extract the most important nuggets for living, a longer, healthier, more energetic life. We're going to cut through the noise, deliver some surprising facts, and hopefully some actionable strategies.
Yeah, and it's important because, let's be honest, there are a lot of misconceptions out there about plant-based diets.
Oh, absolutely.
Things like, can I really get enough protein? Or this idea that you just automatically lose weight without trying.
Right. If only. Exactly. So this deep dive, it's designed to be a shortcut, really, to get you well-informed, show you how to actually optimize a plant-based approach for, genuine longevity, sustainable weight loss, and even peak fitness.
Okay, so our mission today is pretty clear then. We're going to unpack specific power foods that actually fight aging.
Mm-hmm.
We'll reveal that surprising, quote-unquote, secret to sustainable weight loss.
The calorie density piece, yeah.
Exactly. We'll demystify what it really takes to build muscle on plants, that protein question. And crucially, give you practical everyday habits you can literally start implementing today.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, let's unpack this. What if the secret to defying age isn't some complex supplement, but actually a handful of everyday foods, maybe already in your pantry?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Right. We're talking about living not just longer, but more vibrantly. Our sources, they highlight several power foods. And these aren't just adding years. They seem to fundamentally reprogram your body's cellular defense system. It's like this surprising shield against the very drivers of aging. That's precisely it. And what's fascinating, really, is the fundamental science behind these foods. A lot of them are incredibly rich in antioxidants.
Okay.
And these antioxidants, they work tirelessly to protect your DNA from damage, combat oxidative stress. You can feel good like cellular rust.
Rust, yeah, that's a good analogy.
Which is a key driver of aging.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, they also play a huge role in reducing inflammation, supporting overall cellular health. It effectively slows down the aging process and lowers your risk of chronic diseases.
Okay, so if we want to harness that power, where do we start? The 7 plant-based power foods article gives us a fantastic, really actionable list. First up, dark leafy greens. They're called, and I quote, arguably the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet.
That's a big claim, but probably true.
Right, and for good reason. They're incredible at reducing inflammation. And here's a surprising detail. This was from a 2018 study in neurology. Eating just 1 serving daily.
Just one?
Yeah, it was associated with slower cognitive decline, equivalent to being 11 years younger in age.
Wow, 11 years. That's significant.
Isn't it? We're talking kale, spinach, collard greens, arugula, Swiss chard. The key word here is dark, right? Not iceberg lettuce.
Right. Got to have those pigments.
Exactly. Aim for at least 2 servings daily. That's about, 1 cup raw or maybe a 1/4 cup cooked?
Manageable.
And a brilliant pro tip from the sources for convenience. Just freeze fresh, washed organic greens. Toss them in smoothies or whatever.
Smart. Very practical.
And speaking of antioxidant powerhouses, let's talk blueberries. little blue gems.
Can't go wrong with blueberries.
Our sources emphasize they have the highest antioxidant levels of any commonly eaten fruit, specifically thanks to these compounds called anthocyanins.
Those are the pigments, right? Give them the blue color.
Exactly. Those vibrant pigments act as potent antioxidants, actively protecting your cells. And, frozen blueberries are an excellent, often more affordable choice.
Yeah, because they're frozen right at peak ripeness.
Right. Flash frozen preserves all those vital nutrients. We're looking at about half a cup daily. Pretty easy to hit.
Definitely.
Then we have walnuts and flaxseed, a true dynamic duo, often called nature's omega-3 essentials.
The good fats.
Exactly. Walnuts are frequently considered the world's healthiest nut, packed with antioxidants, those crucial omega-3s, vital for brain, eye, cardiovascular, immune health. The list goes on.
So important.
And flaxseed is a great alternative, maybe more accessible for some. It's actually the best food source of ALA omega-3s per calorie.
Good to know. What's the daily target?
For daily needs, it's about 6 walnut halves for women, 9 for men. Or alternatively, 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds, got to be ground, or 1 tablespoon of chia seeds.
Okay, ground flax. Noted.
Moving on to the legume family. Lentils are next.
Lentils. So versatile.
Incredibly versatile, quick cooking time, impressive nutrient profile. But their real power, according to the sources, lies in gut health.
The microbiome again. It keeps coming up.
It really does. It's thanks to their high soluble and insoluble fiber. This fiber acts as prebiotics, basically. Food for the good bacteria in your gut.
Feeding the good guys.
Exactly. By nourishing these beneficial bacteria, you create a healthier internal ecosystem. And that can lead to reduced inflammation, improved nutrient absorption, even apparently better mental health.
That connection is fascinating. How much are we talking?
The recommendation is aiming for about 3 servings of legumes daily. So like half a cup of cooked lentils or black beans or chickpeas counts as 1 serving.
3 servings.
Okay.
Spread throughout the day, presumably.
Yeah, makes sense. And let's not forget garlic, the classic flavor enhancer.
And vampire repellent.
Right. It's known for supporting heart health, boosting your immune system, maybe even playing a role in cancer prevention.
It's the allicin, right? That compound.
Exactly, allicin. It helps reduce blood pressure, lower cholesterol, combat inflammation throughout the body. There was this impactful study from China. Over 27,000 participants, aged 80 plus.
Wow, 80 plus.
Yeah. Those who ate garlic at least 5 times a week had an 11% lower risk of death.
Just from garlic.
Oh.
Amazing.
Isn't it? And a smart pro tip. Chop fresh garlic and let it sit for a few minutes before you cook it. That helps activate the allicin.
Good tip. Like letting tea steep.
Kinda, yeah. Suggested intake is maybe 1 to 2 cloves daily. And bonus, it apparently helps with zinc absorption too.
Useful. Okay, what else?
Ginger, another powerhouse. Positioned as a powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. Active compounds like gingerol.
Ginger's great. Good for nausea, too.
Totally. Supports heart health, might protect against age-related conditions like Alzheimer's, and you can prep it. Chop ginger root in advance, store it in glass mason jars. Easy.
Nice. Making it convenient is key.
And finally, turmeric, the golden spice.
With curcumin.
That's the one. Curcumin, its active compound, is called a powerful agent for promoting longevity, specifically by reducing inflammation, combating that oxidative stress, supporting brain health. But here's the crucial part.
There's always a catch, isn't there?
Well, kinda. It's vital to pair it with black pepper.
Piperine for absorption.
Exactly. The piperine in pepper significantly enhances curcumin's absorption by your body. Otherwise, you don't get nearly as much benefit. Just a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder daily can harness its benefits with that pinch of pepper.
Got it. Turmeric plus pepper. Simple enough.
So 7 incredible foods, right? Each a powerhouse. But what's the big picture here? How do these individual pieces, come together to form that larger shield against inflammation we talked about?
That's exactly it. What's truly fascinating, and this links back to something we touched on, is how these foods contribute to that broader anti-inflammatory strategy. There was a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. It found that while, yes, higher protein intake generally improved musculoskeletal health,
Okay, makes sense.
the source of that protein, whether it was plant or animal, was actually irrelevant for muscle mass, strength, and bone density.
Really? Irrelevant. That kind of challenges the whole animal protein is superior for muscles idea, doesn't it?
It really does. And here's why. Plant foods, unlike animal products, they provide immune-boosting, cancer-fighting nutrients, powerful phytochemicals, dietary fiber, All stuff that's either missing or very low in animal foods.
Right.
But on the flip side, animal products can introduce some harmful components. Things like saturated fat, endotoxins, which cause this kind of toxic surge in your bloodstream after eating.
Endotoxins.
Okay. And metals, too. These cause immediate and pretty long-lasting inflammation in your blood vessels. We're talking damage, reduced blood flow by up to 50% for hours after a meal.
50%. Wow.
Yeah. And this systemic inflammation, it's a major contributor to heart disease, diabetes, certain cancers. Plus, let's not forget, plants are also our primary source of essential minerals.
That's a powerful distinction. So, okay, we've seen how plants can literally help rebuild your body from the inside out, potentially slowing down aging. But what about those immediate, tangible changes many of us are looking for, like, shedding stubborn weight?
The million-dollar question.
Right. Losing weight often feels like this impossible puzzle. But our deep dive reveals the answer might be, well, shockingly simple. And it's not about counting every single calorie.
Which is music to many people's ears, I bet.
Definitely mine. Here's where it gets really interesting. It's about something called calorie density. And the sources are calling this the actual secret to healthy, sustainable weight loss.
Calorie density. Let's break that down. It's simply a measure of how many calories exist in a given amount of food, usually by weight or volume.
Okay.
So to give you a really compelling illustration, think about a pound of food, a pound of apples, about 240 calories, a pound of potatoes, around 350 calories.
Still pretty low.
Right. But then a pound of cheddar cheese, a whopping 1,800 calories.
Whoa. Okay, big difference.
Huge difference. Or visualize this. 100 calories of chocolate versus 100 calories of broccoli. Which one's going to fill you up more?
Definitely the broccoli. You'd get like a huge pile of it.
Exactly. So foods like non-starchy vegetables, they're way down at the low end, maybe 60 to 200 calories per pound. Fruits are next, 200, 300. Grains, starchy veg, beans, maybe 300, 600.
Okay.
Then you get into processed stuff, animal products, and way at the top, oils, around 4,000 calories per pound.
4,000. Okay, that spectrum really highlights the difference.
It really does.
So this is why calorie density is so key then. Most people apparently naturally eat around 3 to 5 pounds of food per day, just by weight.
Huh? That's a pretty consistent amount for most adults.
So where so many diets go wrong and why they're so unsustainable is they try to change the amount of food you eat each day. They force you to eat less volume.
Making you feel deprived, hungry.
Totally. Instead, the trick here, the calorie density approach, is to eat the same amount of food, maybe even more by weight.
More food, sign me up.
Right. But you choose foods that are not calorie dense, lower on that spectrum we just talked about.
So you feel completely satisfied, your stomach is physically full.
Exactly, but you end up consuming significantly fewer calories overall. It's kind of like an automatic approach. It lets you achieve a moderate calorie deficit, say 500 calories a day, which leads to about a pound of fat loss per week. But it feels easy to stick to. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? Tell me more about why this approach actually sticks.
It's a brilliant physiological hack, actually, because you're working with your body's natural signals, not fighting them. If we connect this to the bigger picture, plant-based whole foods, by and large, they have low calorie density.
Right, because of water and fiber.
Exactly. High water, high fiber content that adds bulk, adds volume without adding many calories. Animal products, processed foods, they're typically the highest in calorie density.
Makes sense.
And of course, there are exceptions within the plant world. Processed sugars, refined flours, they're dense. And even healthy foods like nuts and seeds, great for you, but high in calories, so you need to moderate them if fat loss is the primary goal.
Okay, good point. Moderation even with healthy, dense foods.
Right. But the overall benefit, beyond just weight loss, is huge. Embracing this low-density, plant-predominant way of eating also contributes to lower risk of heart disease, stroke, Alzheimer's, certain cancers. It can reduce or even treat diabetes.
So it's not just weight, it's overall health span.
Precisely. It leads to more healthy years in your life because you're fueling yourself properly and naturally managing your intake without that constant battle against hunger.
Now, okay, this leads us to the elephant in the room for many people considering plant-based eating. Protein.
Yes, the protein question always comes up.
We hear it all the time. Where do you get your protein? So can someone really build muscle and, thrive fitness-wise on plants alone? Or is that just a myth we need to bust?
That's a fantastic question, and honestly, one of the biggest misconceptions. The short answer is yes, absolutely. You can get enough protein, and you can build muscle effectively on a plant-based diet.
Okay, good to hear definitively.
Protein's essential, no doubt. Building, repairing muscle tissue, metabolism, gene function. And the key is those 9 essential amino acids, the ones our bodies can't make.
Right. Those are the building blocks.
Exactly. Now, while it's true that most individual plant foods might be a little low in 1 or 2 of these essential amino acids.
So that's where the concern comes from.
That's the root of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the solution is remarkably simple. Just vary your dietary choices. Combine different plant foods throughout the day.
Like the classic rice and beans example.
The most common example, beans are low in methionine, but high in lysine. Rice is the opposite, low in lysine, high in methionine. Eat them together or even just within the same day.
And you've covered the bases.
You've covered any potential amino acid deficiency. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics actually clarifies this really well. They state, and I'm paraphrasing slightly, that protein from a variety of plant foods eaten over the course of a day supplies enough of all essential amino acids if your overall calorie needs are met.
As long as you're eating enough food overall.
Right. The emphasis is really, eat real food. Variety is key.
And, when you look in the right places, have the right conversations, you find incredibly accomplished plant-based athletes who've built plenty of muscle.
Oh, definitely. The evidence is out there.
We're talking about individuals like Danielle Seidel, she's a CrossFit athlete, David Carter, the 300-pound vegan NFL defensive lineman.
300 pounds vegan. Impressive.
Isn't it? Jeremy Reinders, another CrossFit athlete. Joe Venus, a vegan bodybuilder. What's fascinating is their strategies. They're remarkably similar to omnivore athletes.
It comes down to fundamentals, right?
Exactly. Focusing on getting the correct number of calories overall and ensuring ample protein intake, just sourced entirely from plants.
Which raises that important question about actual protein requirements. How much do people need, especially athletes?
Good question. What did the sources say?
Generally, athletes are aiming for somewhere between 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Or, if you use metric, that's about 1.6 to 2 grams per kilogram.
Okay, 0.8 to 1 gram per pound.
Now, the key challenge, as you might have already noticed when we talked about food density, is that plants generally have less protein per calorie compared to animal sources.
Right, you get less protein bang for your calorie buck, so to speak.
Exactly. Like 100 grams of black beans gives you about 8.5 grams of protein for 131 calories.
Yeah.
But 100 grams of chicken breast, that's about 30 grams of protein for 165 calories.
Okay, yeah, that's a significant difference in protein density.
It is. So to hit your protein goals with plants, you might find yourself consuming maybe 2 to 3 times the calories and definitely more carbohydrates along the way.
Which isn't necessarily bad, just different.
Precisely.
Yeah.
The solution then becomes pretty clear. If you're consuming more carbohydrates to hit your protein targets, you'll probably need to eat a bit less fat to keep your overall calorie intake balanced for your goals.
Balancing the macros.
Right. For plant-based strength training, some suggested macro ratios are often around, say, 15-20% fat, 20-30% protein, and maybe 55-60% carbohydrates. But what's crucial to remember, the sources emphasize this.
Yeah.
The only consistent constant among successful athletes, whether they're vegan, vegetarian, omnivore, whatever, they all prioritize getting adequate protein consumption. That's non-negotiable for performance and recovery.
That makes sense. So protein is key. You just need to be a bit more strategic about getting it from plants. What about supplements? If someone's struggling to hit those numbers just from food?
Good point. If hitting your protein intake goals purely from whole foods feels like a struggle, especially with higher needs, then yeah, it's definitely worth looking into a plant-based protein supplement.
What are the common options there?
Well, pea protein is very popular, offers about 21 grams of protein for around 100 calories. Rice protein is another great one. Similar profile, maybe 22 grams of protein for 107 calories.
Pretty efficient.
Yeah. And then there's hemp protein. It's a bit lower in protein per scoop, maybe 12 grams for 108 calories, but it's also really rich in other nutrients like iron, zinc, and those beneficial omega-3 fats.
So hemp has other benefits too.
It does. Often, for a really complete amino acid profile from a supplement, a blend of pea and rice protein is suggested. Kind of mimics that food combining idea.
Okay, a blend might be best.
And just to quickly re-emphasize the broader benefits here, beyond just muscle building. Remember that study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition we mentioned earlier?
The one about protein source and muscle mass.
Exactly. It confirmed no differences in muscle mass based on people's dietary pattern. But importantly, it also clearly noted that meat often comes packaged with potentially harmful components.
Right. The stuff we discussed, antibiotic residues, hormones.
Saturated fat, trans fats, metals. all things that can increase inflammation and promote disease over time.
Whereas plants.
Plants, by contrast, are packed with those immune-boosting, cancer-fighting nutrients, phytochemicals, fiber. And crucially, they don't cause that immediate inflammatory response, that endotoxemia that you can see after consuming animal products. So you get the protein without the potential inflammatory downside.
That's a really important distinction for long-term health. Okay, so we've broken down the what and the why of plant-based nutrition for longevity, weight loss, and muscle. Now, let's get practical. What does this all mean for you, the listener?
Right. How do you actually do this?
How do you put it into practice to achieve your own fitness and health goals? We can look to some incredible examples like Dr. Daphne Bascom. She's a surgeon who actually became a competitive figure athlete after 40, all on a plant-based diet.
Wow, after 40. That's inspiring.
Totally. Her journey really emphasizes that age is just a number and underscores the importance of those three pillars: eating well, moving well, and sleeping well.
The trifecta. And this really connects back to that core principle for sustainable fat loss we talked about, maintaining a moderate calorie deficit.
Moderate being the key word, right, not extreme.
Exactly. Typically around 15-25% below your maintenance level. This is so crucial for sustainability and also to protect your metabolism, prevent that dreaded yo-yo effect where you lose weight only to gain it all back, maybe plus some.
We've all seen that happen.
And it's absolutely possible to lose weight without meticulously counting every calorie. Using a tool like the hunger fullness scale can be really effective.
How does that work exactly?
The idea is pretty simple. You aim to start eating when you feel a hunger level of around 3 on a 1-10 scale. That's like mildly hungry. You can wait, but food sounds good. Not starving at a 1 or 2.
Okay, don't wait until you're ravenous.
Right. And then you stop eating when you feel comfortably full, maybe at a 6 or 7. Satisfied, energy levels good, but definitely not stuffed or sluggish like an 8, 9, or 10. Yeah. Tuning into those internal cues.
Learning to listen to your body again. Okay, let's walk through some key habits then for making plant-based fat loss feel simple, satisfying, and actually sustainable. First up, build every meal around protein.
Super important for satiety and muscle maintenance.
Yeah, aim for maybe 15 to 25 grams of protein per meal. And think of the vegan fat loss plate as a simple visual guide.
Okay, paint the picture for us.
Imagine your plate. Devote about 1/4 of it to a main protein source. Think tofu, lentils, seitan, edamame pasta, something like that.
Got it, protein anchor.
Then fill half your plate with non-starchy vegetables and maybe some low-sugar fruits. Broccoli, spinach, bell peppers, berries. This gives you incredible volume, nutrients, fiber, without tons of calories. Fills you up.
The high volume, low density part.
Exactly. And the final quarter. That's for your healthy carbohydrates to fuel your body in workouts. Sweet potatoes, brown rice, quinoa, oats.
Balanced. Protein, veggies, carbs.
Right. And practical tips here include things like batch cooking staples, grains, beans, roasted veg on the weekend.
Meal prep makes life easier.
Totally. And maybe starting your meals with a glass of water and some raw veggies first, just to kind of kickstart that fullness signal.
Smart strategy. Okay, habit number 2.
Second, embrace the 80-20 vegan flexible eating plan. This is more of a mindset.
Less rigid, more sustainable.
Exactly. Aim to get about 80% of your calories from those whole nutrient-rich plant foods we've been talking about, but leave 20% for, fun foods, treats.
The flexibility factor. Crucial.
It removes that all-or-nothing pressure that makes so many diets fail. It allows you to enjoy your favorite foods in moderation, making the whole thing sustainable long-term. Think smart swaps rather than complete deprivation.
Like what kind of swaps?
Well, instead of regular pizza, maybe a thin crust or cauliflower crust with TVP crumbles instead of sausage. Instead of regular pasta, try chickpea or lentil pasta for more protein and fiber.
Good ones. Ice cream.
For ice cream, try blending frozen bananas, maybe with some protein powder and cocoa, surprisingly creamy. Or for burgers, a black bean or lentil burger, maybe on a lettuce wrap instead of a big bun.
Making it work within the framework. Love it. Okay, third habit.
Third, be mindful of the hidden calorie trap and don't drink your calories.
The sneaky calories.
Totally. Hidden calories from seemingly small additions, condiments like salad dressing, creamy sauces, cooking oils, they can add up incredibly quickly and just silently stall your progress.
Give us some examples.
Well, a small handful of almonds could be 180 calories. A tablespoon of olive oil used for cooking, that's 120 calories right there. These little things can easily erase a 500-calorie deficit without you even realizing it.
Wow, they add up fast. And liquid calories.
Another often overlooked fat loss blocker, as one source put it, because liquids just don't provide the same feeling of fullness or satiety signals as solid food does.
Right, they slide right down.
Exactly. High-calorie drinks like big smoothies, fancy coffee lattes, fruit juices, they can quietly add hundreds of calories to your day. The advice: swap them for low or zero-calorie alternatives. Water with lemon, herbal tea, sparkling water.
Simple but effective. Okay, fourth habit.
Fourth, create a low-temptation environment. This one's huge. It's less about relying on finite willpower.
Which always runs out eventually.
Always. And more about designing your surroundings for success. One source highlighted what they called the law of grocery carts.
The law of grocery carts. Sounds intriguing.
The idea is simple. Whatever you put in your cart will get eaten. Whatever you do not put in your cart will not get eaten.
Huh. Obvious but powerful. Control the input.
Precisely. It brilliantly illustrates the importance of stocking your kitchen with healthy staples, strategically not buying your biggest trigger foods, or at least storing any treats out of sight, making the healthy choice the easy choice.
Set yourself up for success. Makes sense. Habit number 5.
Fifth, walk your way to a leaner, calmer you. Yes, walking.
Good old walking. Often underestimated.
Totally underrated tool, according to the sources, because it's low impact, requires zero equipment, and it's highly sustainable for almost everyone.
Accessible.
Very. And get this. A consistent 20-minute walk daily that's only about 2,000 steps for most people burns around 80 to 100 calories. Doesn't sound like much, but
It adds up over time.
it adds up to more than 10 pounds of fat loss over the course of a year just from that simple walk.
Wow. Consistency pays off.
Big time. And beyond calorie burning, it significantly helps with blood sugar control, boosts cardiovascular health, and it's a fantastic stress reducer.
And less stress often means fewer cravings.
Exactly. It all connects. Simple tips include walking after meals, maybe taking phone calls while walking, using a walking pad under a standing desk if you work from home. Start small and gradually increase your step goal.
Integrate it into your day. Smart. Okay, habit 6.
Sixth, eat your last meal earlier and prioritize sleep. This one's critical.
Sleep, the foundation of health.
Absolutely. Quality sleep is critical for regulating your metabolism, those hunger hormones we mentioned, ghrelin, the go signal for hunger, and leptin, the stop signal for fullness.
Gets those out of whack when you're sleep deprived.
Totally. Poor sleep increases ghrelin, making you hungrier, decreases leptin, making you less satisfied, and it increases insulin resistance, all of which makes weight loss incredibly difficult, if not impossible.
So what's the recommendation?
Aim to finish your last meal at least 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. Give your digestion time to work before you lie down.
Okay, 3-4 hours before bed.
And combine that with simple, good sleep hygiene habits, like a cool, dark bedroom, no caffeine after 2 p.m., a consistent wind-down routine, reading, stretching, meditating.
Turning off screens is a big one too, right?
Huge. Turn off screens at least an hour before bed. Maintain a consistent sleep-wake schedule, even on weekends if possible. And maybe avoid alcohol close to bedtime as it disrupts sleep quality.
All good, actionable tips. Habit number 7.
Seventh, the reset rule. This is a powerful mindset shift.
Okay, tell me about the reset rule.
It's all about overcoming that all-or-nothing mentality that trips up so many people. You know, you eat something off plan or miss a workout, and then you think, oh, well, I've blown it, might as well give up for the day week.
The spiral of doom.
Exactly. The reset rule says, if you get off track, you simply reset the next day, or even the next meal. No guilt, no spiraling.
Just get back on track immediately.
Yeah, right. As one source put it, one slip is never the problem. The real issue is letting that slip turn into a pattern. This approach focuses on consistency and progress over the long haul, not unattainable perfection.
Love that. Removes the pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, final habit.
And finally, number 8, create a high accountability environment. Because willpower, as much as we wish it wouldn't, always runs out.
That's a finite resource.
It really is. So instead of relying solely on yourself, build structure and support around your goals. Tell someone what you're aiming for, a friend, family member. Join a community online or in person. Maybe even get a coach.
External accountability makes a difference.
It really does. One source shared this anecdote about publicly committing to a workout streak on social media. That public declaration immediately sparked a 45-day consistent movement habit for them.
Wow. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. When you have people in your corner rooting for you, maybe even doing it with you, your odds of success just skyrocket. You're tapping into something much stronger than just your own willpower.
Makes total sense. Leverage your environment and your network.
So those are the habits. Powerful stuff.
Yeah, really practical. And this raises an important question, or maybe a clarification. What's the ultimate goal of all these habits? It's not about being perfect, is it?
No, definitely not.
It's to lead to consistency, not perfection. That seems to be the true path to sustainable results based on everything we've looked at.
Consistency over perfection, absolutely.
And what's really incredible and motivating is that after reaching their fat loss goals through these consistent habits, many people find they can actually eat significantly more food, maybe 500 more calories per day, without regaining the weight.
Because their metabolism has adapted.
Partly that, and partly because building lean muscle through exercise further increases your metabolism. You end up creating a body that truly works with you, supporting your health goals, not fighting against you for the long haul.
That's the dream, right? A body that works with you. Okay, so wrapping up, we've taken a really deep dive today into how plant-based nutrition can truly transform your life.
We covered a lot of ground.
We really did. From extending your health span with those amazing power foods,
The greens, the berries, the garlic.
to making weight loss feel almost automatic with the concept of calorie density,
Focusing on volume, not deprivation.
to understanding how to build muscle effectively on plants, and finally, sustaining it all with those smart, practical habits.
Yeah, and I think the knowledge we've shared today, it isn't just about the specifics of what you eat. It's really about a more holistic approach, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's about living a truly vibrant, active, healthy life. It translates to more energy day to day, more confidence, ultimately more freedom to just live fully.
Well said. So here's a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over. What stands out to you most from this deep dive?
Good question to ponder.
Think about how these seemingly small, intentional choices about what you eat, how you move, how you sleep, how you structure your environment, how they can begin this incredible ripple effect in your own life.
Little hinges swing big doors.
Exactly. And perhaps, just maybe, your commitment to your own health could even sort of by default inspire curiosity and positive change in those around you, simply by you leading with an extraordinary example of what's possible.
Leading by example. Powerful.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep thriving.
Thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode of Good Vegan Meal. If you loved what you heard and you're hungry for more, head over to our link tree at linktr.ee/goodveganmeal. There you can grab our free PDF 30 high-protein vegan 5-minute meals packed with quick recipes and full nutritional stats for every meal. Perfect for busy days and plant-powered gains. And if you're ready to take your vegan cooking game to the next level, check out our cookbook's 125-minute vegan meals for kids' lunches, a school lunchbox lifesaver, 185-minute vegan meals, and 7 weeks of high-protein meals with meal planning made simple with grocery lists for each week. Grab your goodies at linktr.ee/goodveganmeal, and we'll see you in the next episode.